Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the sit down. Today's episode is going to be about utilizing a realtor in your transaction. I know last episode we had a mortgage lender on with us, so getting up with that mortgage lender. And today's episode is once you have that pre-approval, actually working with a realtor in order to find that dream property. Now, the reason why we did the last episode was just to make sure you know that when you are in a real estate transaction, it's important to get connected with an agent. You want to be connected with an agent and you want to be connected with a lender. So it's important to know that if you are actually serious about the home buying process, that you actually understand the steps and you get connected with the right people. So with that being said, today's episode is working with a realtor. Now, with working with a realtor, it's important to remember a few factors when working with a realtor. One, make sure you understand that it's not really a realtor's job to sell you a house. And I want to make that really clear. It's a realtor's job to guide you through the process. It's a realtor's job to basically sit back, explain to you the process, and understand the best methodology to get there. Now, it's not really necessarily a realtor's job to sit there and make you feel like you have to buy a house. You don't have to buy anything. I always tell all of my clients the same thing. I'm not here to sell you a house. I'm here to find you a home. I'm here to make the process easier for you. You never want to be in a situation where you regret buying a house. Buying a house should be something that ultimately you feel amazing about. It should never be a remorseful experience. Ultimately, I always tell my clients, it's not me who has to live in the house. Whether you want it or not is not really up to me. I'm here to make sure that if you want the house, I'm going to make sure that you get it. And I'm going to make sure that your transaction is as smooth as it possibly can be. And that's really what we're here for. We're here as subject matter experts. Now, utilizing a subject matter expert in any walk of life is crucial. You want to make sure that if you're utilizing any realtor, that they're a subject matter expert in their craft. They've done this a few times. Ask them some questions, see what they've done, pick their brain about, some experiences they have and, really, just ask some simple questions. Ultimately, not every realtor works well with every person. So just find somebody that you click with. Find somebody that you're like, this is it. This is the person. We mesh really well together. And ultimately, a realtor is going to have your best interest, regardless of who it is. So with that being said, if you're working with an agent, make sure you understand that their job is to find you that perfect house, not to sell it to you, to find it. And then at that point, to tell you what you need to do in order to win the offer. Ultimately, you're utilizing their expertise of the market. You're utilizing their negotiation skills. You're utilizing their ability to advocate on your behalf. And you're utilizing that their team is incredible. So take those for what it is and understand the amount of value that will bring to your transaction as a whole. It's substantial value. Utilizing the right real estate professional will add tens of thousands of dollars to your transaction. Not utilizing a real estate professional to your transaction could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So just keep that in mind and understand that if you are in the process of selling a home, again, contact an agent. Just see what they have to offer. See what they are willing to bring as far as value to the transaction. And just ask some questions. Ultimately, we're here to help you. And buyers, 100% contact an agent. There is no buyer out there that should be not utilizing an agent. If you are a first-time home buyer, you need to contact a real estate agent. And I'm not saying you need to contact me, but you are more than welcome to, but you do need to contact a real estate professional and get that in your wheelhouse and start working towards that further. Now, again, never feel pressured to enter into a contract or never feel pressured to buy a house if you're not 100% sure. Now, with that being said, it is a competitive market, so realize you do have to act quickly. So this is upstate New York, and most contracts are like this, but especially in the upstate New York area, recognize this, that when you sign a contract in upstate New York, one of the contract clauses is going to state that this contract is not considered valid until it was reviewed by an attorney. So what that means is you're not considered a real contract until you have talked that contract over with an attorney. So you understand that this is a legally binding contract upon reviewing it with an attorney. Now, granted, every state is not like that. So a lot of times once you sign the contract, if no attorneys are involved, and let's say you're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, attorneys are often not involved. Once that contract is signed, it's considered, approved, it's enforceable. Now, it's important that when you're signing that contract, just go over it. The agent is not allowed to interpret the contract, but they can try to explain it to you as best as they can. You need to talk to an attorney to review a contract if you're looking for legal precedents. So just keep that in mind. No agent should be giving you any type of legal advice. So always contact an attorney if you're looking for more legalities. But if you're looking for just a straight explanation with regards to, the contract, what you're signing, when you're signing it with a realtor, what you're doing is you're filling in the blank. The attorney needs to be going over that contract with you in more of a legality sense. But as an agent, we do know the contracts. We do read them all the time. We're not going to interpret the contract, but we can read it to you and we can just explain to the best of our ability what exactly each thing. But overall, you do need to contact an attorney if it is something that you do have questions with, and that's the reference that you should have. And if it's, a good agent, they can actually refer you over to an attorney. Usually they'll give you a couple names just so you have a few in your pocket. You can call them and basically go over the contract with them. Now, one more thing to mention with this is that if you are working with an agent, understand that the home buying process does take time, but houses do go fast. So if you find a house that you like, go see it immediately. Don't wait, just see it. And ultimately, if you're making an offer on a house, either do a video call if you're not local, but just make sure you see the property before you put in an offer. That is ultimately how people start getting into buyer's remorse. They don't see the property, and you saw this a lot with COVID. See the property and understand that pictures are often, sometimes misleading. And ultimately, make sure you go check out the property for yourself so you're not making some kind of untrue perception of what the property really is, because the photographer is really good. Some photographers are amazing. They can make a haunted house look like gold. And I always tell people that. I'm like, some photographers are great. Like, these are great photos. But check out the property and make sure you get in there and it's a feeling. It's really going to be a feeling. And when you get that feeling, that's when you need to go to your realtor. That's when you need to go to them and say, hey, I want to pull the trigger. Let's make this happen. And at that point, since you watched the last episode, you're going to have your pre-approval in hand, or you're going to have your proof of funds. And at that point, you're good. You're golden. You're going to write up that offer. Your real estate professional is going to tell you, hey, this is how to get the house, and you're going to get it. Now, granted, it's a competitive market. You might not always get it. And expect that. Expect that you're not always going to get your first house, but just keep trying. Stay motivated. There's plenty of houses out there. And like I always say, sometimes it wasn't meant to be with that one. maybe there was something going on with the house that wouldn't have worked for you. So with that being said, if you are a buyer and you are looking for a house, reach out to a real estate professional, reach out to a realtor today. If you are a seller, have a conversation with a realtor. See the value that they can offer on your property, because ultimately they're going to bring value that you cannot bring without using the marketing and the resources that they have. So just have those conversations. And if you're not comfortable with it, don't feel pressured. But understand that realtors bring value, and that's what's important. Now, if you have any questions, you have any comments, please let me know, reach out to me, and as always, stay free.